Like we know what happens to our land when wherever you are. You can take the boy from the island, not the island from the boy. So like we are connected to that. So yeah, and it's not gonna end, you guys. Like everyone's in that cognitive dissonance. That's gonna be a rude awakening for you to realize that it's not like a hurricane where it comes days and days and days and then it ends so we can clean up. A volcano is completely different. This right here, if you look at the way that it's going, it's like, did you know when like in the cartoons with the TNT with the dynamite, they have that long string and then they go and it goes like that. Kilauea is that long string. It's starting and it's going to continue until it goes and triggers the big boom, the big bada big boom, you know. So they're just letting you guys know it's not. Don't expect it to stop. That's why those people who are there, and they're like, oh, you know, like I'm gonna stay here and like I've been battling this and that, like. You cannot battle a volcano. That is unprecedented, and you have to start thinking like that. You've never had a volcano in your backyard. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. It's on fire and it's gonna get worse and worse. And the worse that one gets, the worse it's gonna be out here. The blue flame has already been it's rose. You know, the prince, Michael, the archangel, with the blue flame. I'm just saying, the methane gas, you've never even seen like a fire with blue fire. I'm just saying, you know, so keep that in mind. And then, continuing, the Son of Man coming in the clouds in the sky with the power and the great glory. And, and then he'll get the elect from the four winds. That means that they're all over the place. From one ahead. Okay, now learn this lesson from the fig tree. So I'm so glad that I taught you guys a lesson of the fig tree, or at least added maybe some more information for you guys to think about the fig tree in a different way. Which, by the way, I've never even seen a fig tree. But when I first moved down here after the hurricane destroyed my house, and we were like refugees, and we found a place, and there was this tree in the back, and I was like, oh, I love this tree. And since there was wintertime, there was no leaves, right? So I wanted to decorate it with ornaments because we had just moved in. During the Christmas time into the New Year, and we didn't have nothing, right? But we found a box of decorations, and so I was gonna decorate it, but I didn't. And then lo and behold, God like presented me a tree, and I've never had a Christmas tree before, so like this is my first time that I ever decorated a Christmas tree this year. So I was like really excited. But just 2 days ago, I realized that tree outside that I totally love is a fig tree. It's totally a fig tree. I was like, oh, this is a fig tree. So that's why I got so many wasps outside. Because wasps and bees always be landing on me, and they never sting me, but like they're always around me, and like I'll be like there, and it could be like a cafe of 50 people, and it will have to just come and like bump me on my head, and of course I freak out and like throw my I make a big whoop, and then my coffee goes that way, and everyone looks at me, and I look like a crazy person, but whatever. I don't get stung, but anyway. Now learn the lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. So that means you feel yourself coming back to the heart of worship. You find yourself being more tender towards people, not condemning them. Like some people I see in the comment streams, they're like, God's coming back, I can't wait, Lord. Okay, yeah, you can wait, because if you have not heard what I just said, all the nations of the earth will mourn, but then the elect get taken up, right? So I'm thinking that we are not going to be mourning, but if you didn't do it right and you are left behind, kind of thing, you will be mourning. You won't be happy about it. That's why he comes and dries the tears off of every eye, right? Because every eye would be like, oh, because I'm sure it's going to be terrifying. It's going to be so scary. We've never experienced the dropping of the veil, the ionosphere just coming down. Like, we don't understand how that works, but I do. I'll tell you that one other day, about that whole veil thing, about what it is. Woo, So then it says, you know that summer is near. So you know that it's coming when you feel like you just want to give, right? Go on that feeling and keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop on the compassion. Compassion, the powerful spirit too. And now, and it'll help you. All those things will help you feel your faith. I just do my part to get, whenever there's an alignment and it's ready for you, for them to come and harvest, that you don't get deceived again with that word rapture. Like, it's not a good word. That's the one that when you hear it, your brain, without you thinking, makes you think. And that's you leaning on the own understanding of other people who are leaning on their own understanding, but putting together with the truth of the bridge. But it's not going to be till you walk over, you know. Okay, so when you see all these things, so everything that we just went through, when you see it, you know that it is near, right at the door, right? And so these things that just occurred, that it's not gonna it could happen, boom, 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 but like, think about it, like, you have to get the nations against nations and rumors of wars and all this stuff, like, they have to plan things. So like, there's going to be, you know, 1 day to God is 1,000 years here. So that's why it gives you time to, in your alertness, to see if this is going to be your time to come to arms, you know, kind of thing. So, but it's always, if you notice in our histories, like I said, always like this. So it's always right at the door. That means that you can do this. You have to fulfill your contract. Right? And I tell you the truth, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. So this generation will not pass away. He was talking then, but remember, the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. So he's talking to us, and this is why I know that we are the generation of that beast. The spirit of cognitive dissonance came up from the depths, and that is the beast. And they're going, and the elite, or not the elite, sorry, the heads of the world, the principalities that are controlling everything, but they know that the victory has been won, they're going to try and push the agenda longer so that they don't get defeated as fast and quick. And it's up to us to be able to be awakened out of that beast so that we can bring it, because that is what we're supposed to do. And so they're going to, the truth is right at the door. Oh, and what they're going to do is play half-truths, the cognitive dissonance, the half-truth, in the minds of men, and using the truth to go against the truth, which is going to be completely terrible. It's almost like using God's children to kill God. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the last evil thing. This is disgusting, and it makes me mad that they've done this to all the people. And I'm sure that there's even people up there who are in good heart, good spirit, good mind to do stuff, but they're in cognitive dissonance to a point, because there's something even bigger that we're not aware of, that they're not aware of, that some only trickle down to being aware of, that is controlling everything. And these things are not even human the way that we think. Like, their agenda has been a long time in the making, so long, in fact, that's why they can see a lot of more pieces than we can in the small little time that we had to live. But what they cannot stop is, once you be fulfilled and that spirit of truth comes, guess who was in the beginning, right? So, the beginning was the world was with God, but also righteousness was in the beginning, wisdom was in the beginning, and the 144 and the elect. And so they are also the eyes of God. They can see all the pieces. And so, it's not like, oh, they can see all the pieces and we have no hope. We have all the hope, and the victory has already been won if we can see it. So, that's what they're going to be doing, pushing the agenda even farther. And they're going to be making things. That's how they're going to deceive a lot of people too. So, they're going to appear right quick along with people to deceive. And what they're going to do is, since we're in that cognitive looking for these signs, they're going to make that sign so that everyone's pushed in this direction, and they're going to have that fakeness all throughout, but it's going to look so real, right? And then when it comes down to that sign, they're even going to get more desperate and make friggin' holographic crap, I think. I mean, amazing signs. It says signs and miracles to deceive even the elect. So if the elect don't have, which I know they're going to have the spirit of wisdom and righteousness too, like they can't be deceived, right? If we have the power to be deceived, because it's going to be that great, if it were possible for us to be deceived. That's what it means. It's going to look so real to the people that they wanted to push into that direction, that there's no doubt in their mind that it's going to be true, and they're going to be lambs to the slaughter, and like, no, we're going to bring you guys back. Like, we got this, right? And we are the generation of the Passover. Passover is on my generation, and the generation that we are is generation 999, the last and upcoming generation to the end of the covenant of love to 1,000 generations for those who love him and keep his commandments. So know therefore that the Lord your God is God, and he's a faithful God, and he will be faithful to finish what he has started. He didn't stop creation on the 7th day. He rested, right? You have to remember this. And eternity and our time, completely different. So like on the 7th day he stopped, right? And he rested, and then he was happy about what the creation he had done. It means that he stopped. And the way that I think about it is like, on the 7th day God rested from his creation. Then on the 8th and 9th, 10th day his son continued it until on the 11th day he gonna come back with his father, who's gonna begin his creation, and his son's gonna have put what he needed, down to do it. And then on the 11th day he's gonna see what is good after his son has completed the building of it, what was good and what was bad. And in that bad thing and the good separation is the cleanup, so that everyone can move in on the 12th day kind of thing. And even before the day started and the creation was that was just like the ancient days of the wars in heaven. So like, that's the way I see it. It's like only in days that in the every single breath that we have taken since the beginning of time is only one giant breath from God, and he hasn't even like inhale exhale is all of our breaths from everything that we know and every single life and not even life. Like, you know what I mean? And then like all of this time is just one blink of God's eye. Like, his eyelid is that big that for millions of years or however long this earth has been here, it's just been in the middle of one blink. And we have blunk. We can't even number the times that we have blunked. You know what I mean? Blunked. So that's the way that I see it, and it helps me to keep out of the beast. And so generation 9999 or 999, which is the mark of the beast, 666. But of course the elite know this, and so they're like microchips and all this stuff, which makes sense. But the cognitive dissonance makes you not see the bigger picture, which you need to, because that mark of the beast, and it says, listen, the man of wisdom. So let you know, the mark of the beast is the number of man, 666, and he is the guy who said that was in heaven looking down upon the world, because he could see that it went on a lot of people, which means that he was above looking below. But it's opposites, right? As above, so below, but the image of God, right? We're the image of God. And so when you look at that, if you look and there's a 9 and a 9 and a 9 on top of your forehead or your hand down here on earth, and you're looking like that with the opposite, your eyes are like the opposites and, reflecting like that, it looks like 666, and it all comes into play. And then, of course, they're going to do that so that you are deceived, and it's not. It's because we are, and that's why I had said the Passover, with all this stuff that is happening and is completely aligned, which all the people who had acknowledged it and like got us all alerted to it, which was awesome. But next time that happens or something, you need to be aware of it and prepare yourselves as the leaders of that pack to tell people and make it a point that this is not a rapture. This is just the alignments of things coming. So I called you to alertness. Do not go in with the thought of a rapture. That depends on you. The reason that happens too is because we have free will. And until that covenant is done, there is a rule on it that says God will not come through our free will. Our free will is given to us by God, and of course he can take it whenever he wants, but he made a promise. He put a rule on top of himself that he would never do that. And so that's why you have to come out of your cloud of secrecy to show him your true heart. And you need to make sure that you are of good conscience of things, so that when you do, you're not gonna It's because it's scary, yeah? Like he's a glory. Glory is something to be feared, but not scared of. Fear of God is something that will strengthen you if you can face it, firstly, on your own, with your shoulders back in all truth, as the person that you are. Somebody who is virtuous and worthy to live in the kingdom of righteousness in eternal glory. And it's awesome. You want to do that. Now is the time. And it is, the kingdom of God is near. The kingdom of God is near. It's already been prepared in you. The kingdom of God is in every man. The kingdom of heaven is in every man. It's in you. Now you figure out that key. So I'll keep doing this until we get more people. Yeah. So thank you for listening, and thank you for helping me learn as well. Bye. Aloha.